Today I've come with an all-purpose base gravy recipe that you can use for making several dishes, vegan, vegetarian or non-vegetarian. Whether you are on a busy schedule or not feeling that well to spend time in the kitchen, this base gravy will save your time and energy. Namaskar and welcome to Curries with Boombi. The thing I always do before starting any recipe is to make a spice blend, that is the masala. In a bowl, add turmeric powder, cumin powder, Kashmiri chili powder, Garam masala powder and coriander powder. Add about a third of a cup of water, mix, and your spice blend is all done. The spice powders swell up in the water, and that water gives them an extra protection from getting burnt when they hit that hot pan. So please do not skip this step. Heat oil over medium heat. Now wait, please do not rush down to the comment section yet to remind me that how much oil I am using. You need that oil to protect the base gravy from getting bad, because we need to store this for long for later use. At the same time, you can make about 4 to 5 dishes from this amount of base gravy, so please do not panic. Once the oil turned warm, I added dry bay leaves, cinnamon stick, green cardamoms and cumin seeds. Allow the seeds to splutter to release their flavor and then add chopped onions along with 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Stir the onions on medium heat till they turn slightly brown in color. Please do not rush this process by increasing the heat of your stove. You want the onions to get cooked on a slow heat. When they look somewhat like this, then it is spice time. So in goes the spice paste. Stir on low heat for 2 to 3 minutes. Next in line is a green chili, which is optional if you want to avoid the chili heat, or you can increase the number of chilies if you like the chili heat. Then a tablespoon of finely grated ginger and a tablespoon of finely grated garlic. Fry on medium heat for a few minutes until you see the oil floating on top. See how that oil has come up to the surface and bubbling around the sides of the wok? When you see that, it's time for the crushed tomatoes to enter the scene along with 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Stir on medium heat from time to time till the tomatoes get well fried and cooked, and again the oil starts leaving the sides. In the meantime, I will make a cashew nut paste in my blender, for which I had soaked some cashew nut in hot water for about an hour to get a smooth paste. See how the tomatoes and onions have all turned into one mass of goodness? So now add the cashew nut paste, which will bring in a thickness to the gravy. Add the cashew nut paste only after you see the tomatoes and onions have got well cooked and mixed together to become one single mass. If you add the cashew nut paste early, then things will stick at the bottom of the pan instead of getting well cooked. Remove the bay leaves and cinnamon stick at this point and cook on low heat, stirring it from time to time to prevent anything from sticking to the bottom of the pan. Once again, when you start seeing that oil oozing out along the sides or floating on top, your base gravy is now done. You can store it in an airtight container in the refrigerator for about a week, or you can divide them into portions and it stores well in the freezer for 6 months. My friends, this is a base for several curries. I will be showing you 3 examples to give you an idea, but believe me, you can make several different types of curries from this one gravy. Coming to the 3 recipes using this, heat a pot over medium heat with 2 teaspoons of oil. Add cumin seeds and chopped onion. Add a sprinkle of salt and stir the onion till they look a bit pale in color. Then I added a can of cooked chickpeas. In it, I added about a heaped teaspoon of chole masala. If you do not have chole masala in your pantry, then just use a teaspoon each of ground coriander and ground cumin. Drop in a ladleful of the base gravy masala. I added little less than a cup of hot water along with 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Please keep this in mind that the base masala already has salt added to it, so add less salt now. You can always add it later. Once the gravy comes up to a boil, reduce the heat to low and allow it to simmer away for 10 to 15 minutes. Do a taste test, and if you find everything to be a bit bland, Then add another tablespoon of that base masala. If you think it needs more salt, add more salt. If you see things are too dry, add a splash of hot water. Now I added a few teaspoons of date and tamarind chutney. You can also add coconut milk or sour cream or heavy cream, or you do not have to add any of these. The options are endless here. I finished the dish with some chopped coriander leaves, and there you have a delicious chickpea masala with minimum effort going into it. Our next recipe is a tofu curry with mixed veggies. Again, add a heaped ladleful of that base masala to your pan. I use some chopped orange bell pepper and frozen mixed veggies. I added a tablespoon of tomato paste along with a teaspoon of oil. Add a splash of water and fry everything on medium heat for a few minutes. Next goes in some firm tofu along with salt and about half a cup of water. I like adding a teaspoon of crushed kasuri methi, that is dried fenugreek leaves, and allow it to simmer on medium heat for about 5 minutes. Do a taste test and adjust the seasonings. Finally, a few teaspoons of Mexican crema and you are done. You can add coconut milk or almond milk or cooking cream, do whatever you like. My last recipe is a quick chicken recipe. For a change, today I am using boneless chicken thighs because it cooks faster compared to bone-in chicken, but you can definitely use chicken with bones. Add half a cup of plain unflavored yogurt, a teaspoon each of finely grated ginger and garlic, a teaspoon of oil and a teaspoon of Kashmiri chili powder, or you can use sweet paprika if you want to avoid the chili heat. Mix well and marinate it for 30 minutes, or you can marinate it overnight in your refrigerator. But in that case, please take it out from the fridge at least half an hour before you start to cook. Heat oil in a pot, add dry bay leaves and cinnamon stick. Lower the heat to low and add the chicken. Once everything comes up to a boil, adjust the heat to medium-high and stir for a few minutes. Add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder and half a teaspoon of garam masala powder along with 2 ladlefuls of the base gravy masala. Add salt to taste along with a teaspoon of crushed kasuri methi, that is dried fenugreek leaves. Cover on medium heat for 20 minutes or until the chicken turns tender. In between, give a stir. I added a little bit of half and half for that added richness, but you can leave it out. You can add heavy cream or milk, or even coconut milk will be great. You can use this same recipe using cauliflower or potatoes and green peas. You can also use tofu or mushrooms. Do a taste test and adjust the seasonings. And look at that gorgeous gravy. I hope you've got some idea of the convenience of making this base gravy. Though I personally always like building a curry with fresh ingredients, but my friends, there will be days when you won't feel like standing for a long time in the kitchen, or you may want to make something really quick for a weeknight dinner. The base gravy is like a savior for those days. Please give me a thumbs up if you find this video useful, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.